So we begin this morning with what is massive devastation in Florida after Hurricane Milton. All day yesterday, emergency crews discovered neighborhoods still underwater. Just look at this. We know at least 16 people were killed. First responders continue to make an incredible effort to reach those trapped by the storm. At least 340 people and almost 50 pets have been rescued so far. Hurricane Milton also brought an unprecedented wave of deadly tornadoes, and that included multiple twisters in just 20 minutes in St. Lucie County. There were at least 20 confirmed tornadoes statewide Wednesday. Get this, in a typical year, the state sees roughly 50. We begin with CBS News correspondent Cristian Benavides, who continues to bring us updates today from St. Petersburg, Florida. Cristian, what is the situation like where you are now? And I can only imagine how exhausted you and emergency crews are as we speak.
Errol, good morning. There is plenty of cleanup that still needs to take place. We're in front of Tropicana Field. That's the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. To give you a sense of just the power of Hurricane Milton, the roof of Tropicana Field is meant to withstand 150-mile-per-hour winds, and yet still it was shredded to pieces. Officials say that they've got so much cleanup left to do, but that there is a silver lining. They believe that many of the folks who live in low-lying areas and out on the barrier islands, they believe that the majority of those folks did evacuate, and that saved likely many, many lives. But still, there are communities that are underwater. As you mentioned, more than 300 rescues that have already taken place. Now, the priority at this point is getting the power back on. You've got about 2.5 million homes and businesses that have no power.
And what's interesting is people there where you are on the west coast of Florida were expecting the winds. They were expecting the floodwaters. But along the east and southeast areas, there were all of these tornadoes and ongoing flooding. What's the latest on the devastation in that area of the state?
So incredible to see just what the power of this hurricane is and was while it was here in the state of Florida. Southeast Florida did not expect to see the worst of the storm, and yet the most deaths, or the most confirmed deaths so far, are out of St. Lucie County, the Fort Pierce area, where you had a tornado outbreak, kill at least 6 people. Officials say that this is why they warn all Floridians who may be below a certain part of Florida to be on alert. People in South Florida, certainly we're expecting to see some of the weather, but I think it's quite telling that some of the worst damage is being seen down there. Now, that is not to say that there isn't plenty of damage and things that they have to do, the cleanup efforts that still need to take place up here. You know, the road to recovery for some of these communities, many of which were just slammed by Helene 2 weeks ago, will be a long one.
I'm going to speak more about that right now. Cristian, thank you so much for this week's coverage.